So good morning to all of you. I welcome you all for the morning session class. In the uh, last class, I was discussing the concept of problem on deadlocks. Correct. So we have come across the Banker's algorithm, where we have come across two parts in Banker's algorithm. So can anybody tell what are the two parts in Banker's algorithm? Please unmute yourself and tell. What are the two parts in Banker's algorithm?
Safety algorithm and resource request algorithm.
Correct. So it is safety algorithm and resource request algorithm. So we have learned both in the last class, right? With small examples also we have learned. So in today's class, we will see the next part, that is deadlock detection. Right. So before that, I will just share the slide to you. Yeah, that is this one, deadlock detection. So we have come across the three important protocols for handling the deadlocks, correct? So I'll just go through that once. So these are the three things which we will be seeing. So what are the three things? So first we have seen deadlock prevention, correct? Second thing we have learned was deadlock avoidance. So now what we are going to see is deadlock detection. That is the second point. Means we are allowing the system to enter to the deadlock, and then we try to detect whether my system is in deadlock state or not. And we are going to check. That is the third one. So far we have learned these two, deadlock prevention and deadlock avoidance. Now we are going to see deadlock detection. Okay. So last thing is we are going to see the deadlock recovery, how we recover from the deadlock situation. Anta. Okay, fine. Right. So we'll see that one in today's session, that is deadlock detection. Yeah, that is this deadlock detection. So see, observe the first point. So if a deadlock prevention or avoidance is not used in our system, okay, then what happens? Obviously our system will enters the deadlock state, correct? So if we are not using any of the protocols, either if we are not using resource allocation algorithm, or if we are not using our Banker's algorithm. So resource allocation is for prevention, correct? Similarly, Banker's algorithm is for avoidance, correct? If we are not using these two algorithms, then it is sure that our system will enters the deadlock anta artha. Okay. Now what happens? Now we have to detect whether deadlock has occurred or not anta, if we are not using any of these strategies. So that's what it is written in the first point. If deadlock prevention or avoidance is not used, then deadlock will occur in our system anta. Okay. So then we are going to use the following algorithms for ಡೆಡ್ಲಾಕ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಡೆಡ್ಲಾಕ್ ಇದೇನೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇವೆರಡು ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ರೈಟ್? Okay, observe the first algorithm which we are going to use. Okay, so the algorithm is it will be checking whether the system is enter the deadlock state or not. That is the first algorithm we are going to use. Okay, so second algorithm what we are going to use is for recovering from the deadlock. Okay, so in today's session we will be learning the set of algorithms which were meant for detecting the deadlock. That's it. Okay, we are not going to study any concept on recovering from the deadlock in today's class. Okay, in today's class we are learning the algorithms which were meant for deadlock detection in a system. Okay, so second one is deadlock recovery. So we will see that in the later classes. Fine. Okay. So here also the deadlock detection algorithm works on two situations or two scenarios. The first scenario is when we have resources of single instances. In such cases, how we detect the deadlock. Second one is if we have multiple instances of resources, then how do we detect the deadlock? That's what the point says here. Okay, the highlighted point. Deadlock detection is done based on two things: either a resource have single instances or a resource have multiple instances. Okay, we will see that one. Okay, so if resource have single instances, then how the deadlock can be detected. Okay, so here we are going to use a graph called wait for graph ಅಂತ use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So it is similar to your resource allocation graph. Okay, so can anybody tell what is the use of resource allocation graph? Please unmute yourself and tell. What is resource allocation graph? What is resource allocation graph? So we have learned all these things in the last class, correct? So it is a graph which contains processes and resources, correct? And we will be having the edges, that is request edge and assignment edge, correct? So the main intention of resource allocation graph is to check whether there is any cycle formation or not. If there is cycle formation, means there are chances that deadlock will occur in our system. So to check that one, we are using the resource allocation graph, correct? So in deadlock detection, so we are using another kind of graph called wait for graph anta use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay, so it is similar or it is equivalent to your resource allocation graph anta. Okay, right. Now, how exactly it is different from your resource allocation graph antantandre? So in your resource allocation graph, we have both processes and resources, correct? But in your wait for graph, there is no resources. So those nodes we are removing. So that's what you can see in the second point, which is highlighted here. The wait for graph is obtained. How you are obtaining that one? By removing the resource nodes, okay, and the corresponding edges. Okay, resource nodes ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ resource nodes ಎಲ್ಲ remove ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, and whatever the edges which are connected to that node you are removing ಅಂತ. Then you are going to get wait for graph. Okay, right. Next, you can see the third point, what it says: if there is an edge from process Pi to process Pj in a wait for graph, it indicates what antandre? The process Pi is waiting for the process Pj to release the resource anta artha. That's what that edge indicates, process Pi to Pj. Okay, next, observe the last point. If there is an edge from process Pi to process Pj in a wait for graph, idre it is equivalent to in your resource allocation graph, it is equivalent to like this: an edge from process Pi to resource Rq and an edge from resource Rq to process Pj anta. If you have that edge in resource allocation graph, then you can easily convert that in your wait for graph as Pi to Pj anta ನೀವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. So that's what that indicates. Okay, clear with this? So this is just a general introduction. Okay, so I will show that with a practical example. So this is a practical example. So you can see the leftmost diagram. So this is a resource allocation graph diagram. Okay, and the rightmost part is your wait for graph diagram. Okay, so if you have resource allocation graph, then you can easily convert that resource allocation graph into a wait for graph. Okay, am I clear with this? If we have resource allocation graph, then we can easily convert that into a wait for graph anta. Okay, fine. Fine. So you can see in resource allocation graph, you have resources, you have processes, correct? Now, how do we convert a resource allocation graph into a wait for graph antandre? We have to remove all the resources which you can see in a resource allocation graph. So which are all the resources here in our resource allocation graph? Can anybody unmute yourself and tell?
R1, R2, R5, R4, R3.
Correct. So these resources we have to remove now. Okay. And what are all the edges which are connected to these resources? Can anybody tell? For resource R1, there is an edge from P1 to R1, correct? And there is an edge from R1 to P2, correct? So observe this point once again. I will just once again highlight this. An edge from process to resource and edge from resource to process. Okay. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ example ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ. P1 to R1. How I can write? I can write this as Pi to RQ. And there is an edge from R1 to P2. How I can write this? RQ to PJ anta. Correct? Then how I can write this? I can easily write it as Pi to PJ anta baribodu. Okay, if we have an edge like this, okay, you can see the mouse which I am pointing here. If we have an edge like this in your resource allocation graph, then it can be easily written as Pi to PJ anta baribodu, where in your wait for graph anta artha. Clear with this? Okay, right. So you can see there is an edge from P1 to R1 and R1 to P2. Then if I remove this particular resource, then how your edge will become now? Can anybody tell? How your edge will be converted now? If I remove R1 from resource allocation graph, then this edge P1 to R1, R1 to P2 can be written as what?
P1 to P2.
P1 to P2, correct. You can see that in your right part of your diagram. In your wait for graph, there is an edge from P1 to P2. What is that indicates? It indicates that there was an edge from P1 to R1 and R1 to P2. Since we have removed R1, so those two edges are also be removed, correct? Correct? So we can directly write an edge from P1 to P2 anta artha. So that's what we have written here. So similarly, you can observe there is an edge from P2 to R3 and R3 to P5. So how this can be written? If I remove resource R3, how this can be written?
Two to P5.
Correct. P2 to P5. You can see that in your wait for graph, there is an edge from process P2, process P5. So similarly, there is an edge from process P2 to R4 and R4 to P3. So how it can be written if we remove the resource R4?
P2 to P3.
P3, correct. So we can write the edge from P2 to R3 by removing the resource R4. So like that, so we have constructed our wait for graph by removing all the resources. Okay. Okay, you can see now there is an edge from process P2 to R5 and R5 to P4. How it is written? P2 to R5, R5 to P4. How this can be written?
P2 to P4.
Correct. P2 to P4. Similarly, there is an edge from P3 to R5 and R5 to P4. How this can be written?
P2 P4.
Correct. P3 to P4. Lastly, we have an edge from P4 to R2 and R2 to P1. How this can be written?
P4 to P1.
Correct. P4 to P1. That's it. So by removing all the resources from your resource allocation graph, we have constructed a new graph. That graph is called as wait for graph anta artha. Okay, fine. So hope you understood now how we have created the wait for graph. Okay, now after constructing the wait for graph, we have to check whether there is any cycle formations in the constructed wait for graph. If there is any cycle formation in the wait for graph, then we can easily say that deadlock is detected in your system anta artha. If there is no cycle formation in your wait for graph, then it indicates that there is no deadlock detected in our system anta artha. So that's what you can see that thing which is highlighted here. Okay, deadlock exist in your system if and only if there is a cycle formation in a wait for graph. Okay, do we have any cycle formation in our wait for graph? Can anybody tell?
Yes, sir.
Yes, correct. So P1 to P2, P2 to P4, P4 to P1, there is a cycle. Similarly, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P1, P1 to P2, correct? So this is one more cycle. Okay, since there is a cycle formation in wait for graph, we can easily say that our system is detected a deadlock anta artha. Okay, clear with this? So this is one algorithm for deadlock detection. Okay, when we have to use this wait for graph, whenever we have single instance of resources, then only we have to apply your wait for graph anta artha. So is it clear to all of you? Everybody understood this? So wait for graph is used for detecting deadlock whenever you have single instance of resource. Okay, fine. Next. So second algorithm is when you have multiple instances of resources, then how do you detect the deadlock anta? Okay. So that is this. So when we have several instances of resources, then your wait for graph is not suitable. Okay, or any graph is not suitable if we have multiple instances. Then we are going for another algorithm, that is a deadlock detection algorithm. Okay, so to understand that algorithm, so we have to know these variables. Okay, so these are the variables we are going to use in that particular algorithm. Okay, so the first one is available vector. Okay, this indicates, so there are m number of resources which are available in the system anta heಳುತ್ತೆ. That's what the available indicates. Similarly, allocation, so it is a matrix, so which indicates how many number of resources are currently allocated for the respective process anta ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. That is allocation. So last one is request. So request is another kind of a matrix, so which indicates how many number of resources which the process will request anta ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. This is the matrix. So these are the three variables we are using in our algorithm anta. ಯಾವ algorithm ಅದು? Deadlock detection algorithm. So this algorithm is for resources having multiple instances. Okay, let us understand that algorithm now. Right, so this is the algorithm. So we will be getting problems on this algorithm also. Okay, right. So first let us understand the algorithm. So there are 4 steps in this algorithm. It is similar to your safety algorithm, but there are few changes here. Okay, observe the first step. So here we are using 2 variables. One is work, second one is finish anta, and we are initializing work is equal to available. Clear with this? Next, observe this. For I is equal to 0 to n minus 1. What are all these things? These indicates the processes. Okay, so if we have n number of processes anta, starting from 0 to n minus 1 anta. So ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ we are checking the allocation value of every processes. Okay, that's why I have written here allocation of I is not equal to 0. That we are checking every time. So in your problem they will be giving the matrix and you have to check every process allocation whether it is not equal to 0 anta check ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು. So if it is not equal to 0, then what you have to do, you have to make that process as false anta check ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. False ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, that process is not completed its execution ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. So that's why it is represented by the variable finish. Finish of I is equal to false ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಯಾವಾಗ, when allocation of that process is not equal to 0. Okay, so if it is equal to 0 means what does that indicates? So if any process allocation is 0, it indicates that that process has completed its execution anta. So that's why you are not going to allocate any new resources anta. Clear with this? Since it is not equal to 0, it is an indication that that process is not completed its execution. So that's why we are making finish of I is equal to false. Okay, so that is your first step. Initialize work is equal to available and check every process allocation is not equal to 0 or not anta check ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is the first step. Second step, so if allocation of any process is not equal to 0, then what you have to do, then you have to go to the process second step, that is find all the processes which are not executed. Not executed ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, finish of I is equal to false ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು for all the processes. Okay, next second step, that is step 2b, request of I is less than or equal to work ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು. Okay, so you are in your problem they will be giving the request matrix also. Okay, so for that particular process which is not executed, so you have to check what is the request it is making anta check ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So your request should be always less than or equal to work ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. Okay, if no such process is present, then what means all the processes has completed anta artha. Okay, so you are going to step number 4, which indicates that that process cannot be granted that particular request. Okay, so that's why step number 4, finish of I is equal to false. So finish of I is equal to false ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, the system is detected the deadlock ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. Deadlock ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, when any of the one process has not completed anta. If all processes has completed means deadlock has never occurred anta artha. If any of the one process, that's why I am checking in the step 4. Okay, if any of the one process is false, okay, it indicates that the system is in deadlock state anta artha, means deadlock has detected anta artha. That's what the step 4 indicates. Clear with this? Okay, fine. So if step number 2 is true, means request of I is less than or equal to work idre, if the step number 2 is true, then you are going to step number 3 anta artha. Okay, fine. So what does step number 3 we are doing? In step number 3 we are checking work is equal to work plus allocation of I anta check ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Okay, so we are going to add and we are going to calculate the new work. Clear with this? So like that we are keep on checking and we are simultaneously making that process as a true, that is finish of I is equal to true anta ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay, so we have to keep on repeating step number 2, step number 3 until all processes have completed. Okay, if any of the one process has not completed means it is an indication that the deadlock has detected in our system anta artha. Clear with this concept? So hope everybody understood this. So let us solve one problem so that you can easily understand how we are detecting the deadlock in our system. Okay. Okay. Let us quickly move to the problem. So please get ready with your book. I will solve that problem. Okay. So this is a problem. So I will just read out it for you. Consider a system with 5 processes: P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay. And there are 3 resources: A, B, C. Resource A has 7 instances, resource B has 2 instances, and resource C has 6 instances. Okay. Now, this is the snapshot of your system at time interval T0. And these are all the resources which the respective processes are requesting. Yav time alli at time T0 anta. Okay, observe the problem which I am discussing. Okay, so what is the column which is not available here? Which column we were supposed to have here? We used to have max column, correct? Hope you remembered this. Already forgot? Can you see here? We used to have a max column here, but there is no max column here because which algorithm we are checking? We are checking deadlock detection. Okay, so this is the problem we are solving for deadlock detection. Okay, so in deadlock detection problems, we don't find the max column here. Instead of max column, we will find the request column. That's it. So whenever the problem is given for you like this, if you have allocation column, we have request column, and you have an available column, then it is understood that we have to apply deadlock detection algorithm. That is this algorithm. This algorithm we have to apply. Okay. But if you have been given the problem like this, where you have allocation column, max column, and available column, then you are going to apply your safety algorithm. Okay, please don't confuse with this. Okay, in your problem, if it is given allocation, max, and available, then you have to apply safety algorithm. Similarly, if your problem contains allocation, request, and available columns, then you have to apply deadlock detection algorithm. Okay, hope I am clear to all of you. So let us solve now. So we are applying deadlock detection algorithm. So I is equal to 0. First process I am considering now. Work is equal to available. Okay, so what is the available value? Please respond. What is the available value? Is the slide visible to you?
0, 0, 0.
0. Correct. So apply that one here. Work is equal to available is equal to 0, 0. Okay. And what is the next says? Allocation of I is not equal to 0. We have to check. Okay. What is the value of I here? 0. Correct. So means I have to check the allocation of the first P0 process. Correct. What is the allocation value of process P0? 0, 1, 0. That is allocation value of process P0. Correct. So is it 0? Is it not equal to 0? Yes, it is not equal to 0. Correct. So it is true. Then make finish of 0 is equal to false. Correct. That is what it is given in your algorithm. Okay. If allocation of I is not equal to 0, then make finish of I is equal to false. Correct. So that's what we have written here. We have made finish of 0 is equal to false. Then go to step number 2. In step number 2, we are checking request of I is less than or equal to work anta check ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Correct ಅಲ್ವಾ? Correct? Is it right? Request of I is less than or equal to work. So what is request of 0? 0, 0, 0. Correct? So that we are writing here. request of I 0, 0, 0 is less than 0, 0, 0. Yes, correct. So it is also true. Then go to step number 3. If step number 2 is true, then only we are going to step number 3. Correct? What is step number 3? Work is equal to work plus allocation of I. That is step number 3. Okay. So work is equal to work plus allocation of 0. What is allocation of 0? 0, 1, 0. Correct? So use that one here. 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 1, 0. When you add both, you are going to get what? 0, 1, 0. That is your new work. Correct? So make finish of 0 is equal to true. Correct? According to your algorithm. Make finish of I is equal to true. So that's why we are making here finish of 0 is equal to true. Next, consider your next process. Okay. So apply once again deadlock detection algorithm. I is equal to 1. So your work is your new value. What was the new value? 0, 1, 0. Correct? So that we are checking here. 0, 1, 0. And now we have to check allocation of 1 is not equal to 0 ಅಂತ check ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. Correct? What is allocation of 1? 2, 0, 0. That is allocation of 1. So obviously it is not equal to 0. Correct? It is true. So make finish of 1 is equal to false. Fine. Go to step number 2. In step number 2, we are checking request of 1 is less than or equal to work anta check ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. So request of 1 is what? What is request of 1? 202. That is request of 1. Okay. So is it less than work? No, it is not less than work. So it is false. So we have to stop there itself. So consider your next process. Okay. So this is next process. I is equal to 2. Repeat the same procedure. Work is equal to available. So since we have not calculated any new work here, so what was our previous value for work? 0, 1, 0. Same thing we are using in the next process. So that's why I have written work is equal to available is equal to 0, 1, 0. And check allocation of 2 is not equal to 0 ಅಂತ check ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. What is allocation of 2? Please respond. What is allocation of 2? 303. Correct? It is not equal to 0. Correct. So you have to make finish of 2 is equal to false. Go to step number 2. Request of 2 is less than or equal to work ಅಂತ check ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. Request of 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What is request of 2? It is 0, 0, 0. That is request of 2. So is it less than work? Yes, it is less than work. So it is true. If step number 2 is true, then go to step number 3. Correct? So step number 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? Work is equal to work plus allocation of I ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay. So if the session ends, please try to log in again. Okay. I repeat, if session ends, please try to log in again. Okay. So work is equal to work plus allocation of 2. What is allocation of 2? It is 303. Correct? So use that one. So 303 plus work is 010. Add ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ? 313 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Next, what we have to do? Now we have to make that process as finished. Correct? So finish of 2 is equal to true ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then consider the next process. So I is equal to 3. So once again apply your deadlock detection algorithm. So work is equal to available. What is your new value? 313. So use that one, 313, and check allocation of 3